What's good, everybody? Today I wanted to talk about a plugin called Kinetic. It is a rompler that you may or may not have seen pop up in your social media ads, as part of their advertisement campaign. It is a rompler, and so basically that means all of your sounds are curated and created for you so you can get started on just making your compositions and music production. So, what I'm going to do is just give a basic overview of the VST itself, talk about some of its features, who it's for, and who it's not for, its strengths, and a couple of its weaknesses. So, yep, as I said, this is a rompler. When you upload this for the first time, you're going to have to make sure you have a designated spot to put your sample content. It does not unpack everything for you. So just be aware of that. Which is cool because you can put it on any hard drive that you wish. When you open it up and get started, you can go in to the menu, pick your presets. They have a lot of categories to choose from: your ARPs, arpeggiators, melodies, basses, choir, drones, and so forth. And so you just pick your sounds. Go over a couple of these presets. Do one more for this category. And let's try strings. See what they got for strings. Ensemble. Let's wait it out. Might be taking some time to load up. Not bad. All right, let's do one more synth chorus. Nice for some synthwave type stuff. Let's go into the horns and let's see if we can find. Let's load up. Oh, not bad for a rompler. You could definitely hear the effects on it, which may be to your liking or not, depending on your preference. Uh-oh. Finger slipping. Yep, I gotta start practicing. But you get the idea. Those are the horns. Let's do a couple more. Definitely don't sound like conventional horns, and that's okay. Yep, that's definitely got that rolling sound. Yep. All right, cool. Let's close out of there. You get the idea. You can also buy expansions, and so you could expand on your sounds and so forth. You can click on there to add expansions. Never done that part? but it's doable. All right, we're going to close out of that. When you're in the VST, this is the general layout. You have 6 different windows to work with. And within those 6 windows, for each window, you get 2 sample-based oscillators to work with. So you have up to 12 different sounds you can stack this thing with and get going. There are a lot of waveforms to choose from, but it looks like it's all been categorized into an easy format. So you got your bells at the top, 30 different bells to work with, 7 different electronic synths. I don't know what terrarium is for, but you get 15. You get quite a few different keys. Then you get your guitars, your harmonics, Junos. So it's a fair amount of stuff here. It's all categorized. So it may not be that much comparatively speaking. Everything from a sound quality seems to be well sampled and for the most part formatted really well. I think they did a good job on sampling these instruments out and making sure everything was formatted. You don't hear a lot of drop off, if you go so high up the octave or so far down the octave. So I think they did really well on that. Some romplers don't do that as well, and you hear it, especially if you play across all 88 keys or even 61 for that matter. All right, but there's that. So you get 7 of those. You can adjust the volume here with the dB, pardon me. Then you go here, and you can do more adjustments. In this section, you have your envelopes. It's all been organized for you in a nice compact way. So you start off with the amplitude envelope, but you can go and adjust the filter envelope. I think that's by filter. I'm not sure, and I apologize. Don't know what PIT stands for, but I know you can adjust it once you click on one of these. So I'll have to do some more digging on that part. In terms of your filter section, you got a state variable filter, which I'm like, that's dope, because a lot of plugins do not include or bother to include a state variable filter. You also have your standard 1-pole filter, all pass, ladder, and ring filter. So you get a decent amount of stuff to work with. Nothing overwhelming, but you can do some sound shaping between this section right here and this section over here if you want to go a little bit further. Over here, you can turn on your global effects and click on the part that you want to deal with. You can do reverb, delay, or EQ. You can adjust your volume, the panning, the width of the sound. You can go over here to your settings. You can adjust stuff as you need to. Let's close out of that. If you need to adjust the image, like stuff is moving around, to get that graphical feedback, you can turn that on or off here. You get some basic info. You can click on that to go to the website. You can click this to show your keyboard, so you get that keyboard response if you like that. All right, down here are more effects and ways to modify your sound. So you have the arpeggiator. When you want to turn on a sound or an oscillator, you just click on the icon. Make sure it's red, because if it's not, sound is not going to come up. So you turn on that red, and now you can start messing with that stuff. You have your dynamic section for gate, compressor, limiter. You have your LFOs. You can modify amplitude, pitch, so forth. Reverb, delay, come on, phaser, chorus. That's standard in any rompler. You got to have your basic your basic effects: delay, reverb, phaser, chorus. Over here, you can put in audio, and you can do some, that might be control voltage. I'm not sure. Again, I don't know all of the features, and I'm not going to pretend, so I have to go back and experiment at a later time frame. But anyhow, you can put your audio here. Click on it. Make sure you right click or drag and drop the file. You can do either or, and then go from there. I'll show you how that's done. Please bear with me one moment. All right, so you go into your folder, you pick your sounds that you want, and you can just drag it in. So they did great with that. Now, once you get in, what I want to do, this is the pain in the butt. So one of the drawbacks. When you put your sample in, there is no volume knob in the sample section or user audio section itself. So you're going to have to adjust that. And that is a little convoluted, in my opinion. So what I do is I turn off the wave oscillator. I'm going to turn on my user audio. And so you can barely hear it. I'm going to hit pitch. And that's good because I can hear the note that it's on. And that's the problem. It's only letting me go up to 12 dB. Let's do 1 bar. Let's not do 1 bar and keep it on 3. So that's what I'm getting at. So the user audio section is not as intuitive as it could be, especially when you're dealing with, compared to other samples or VSTs that allow you to do that. But you can drive up the sound, make this louder. One thing I will say that is nice about this is you can adjust the random start knob. And that has a feature that will allow you basically the ability to kind of, I'll just turn it up this way. What a random start button does is, as you can see, now every time I hit my key, the starting point when you hold down the note begins at a different position on the waveform, and that helps you to get a more unstable sound, similar to how you would get in a analog synthesizer, like a voltage controlled synth. In those type of synthesizers, you never start perfectly at the beginning of the waveform every time you hit the key. You always end up starting at a different position of the waveform, which partially contributes to the instability of the sound and getting that texture. You can do that here with the waveform. So if you had something like, your own standard sine, sawtooth, square wave or whatever, you can throw that in, set that up, and you can get some of that. And then if you LFO at the pitch, now you can recreate that sound and recreate that feel, so to speak. So yeah, that is the user audio. You can drive this up, and when it works, it works well. But I definitely would like to see it. Definitely would like to see it more more user friendly. Something to adjust the volume. That's my only complaint about that. Other than that, the fact that you can bring audio into it, it definitely adds more flexibility to the synth. And you can, of course, you could buy expansions for it and so forth. Now, who's this for? This plugin is geared for trap music, urban music, and your synthwave, EDM type stuff. It's definitely not geared towards anything in the traditional sense. Even the basic pianos or whatnot, they're all layered out with different sounds and textures. So if you're trying to ride this modern wave of trap music, UK drill, things of that nature, you can definitely do that. You can use this to get into some of the ambient EDM spaces. It does a good job for that as well. If you're into the more traditional, sounds of you know, music creation, jazz pianos, you know, traditional EPs and things like that. This may not do that. I don't know if they have an expansion for it. I would presume they do, but I'm not sure. So that would be the only caveat. The price point, I got this on sale for $10 a couple weeks ago. I don't know if it's still on sale. I think regular price is over 100, so that's another thing to think about. Over $100 for some of these VSTs and plugins. The competition is steep. I always got to be honest, because you're spending your money. The competition is steep. But I think for what this is, it definitely does urban music, trap music, drill music. It does that very well because of how these presets are colored and how they are, you know, yeah, curated. Let's go back and play with a couple more of these sounds. Come on. Let's go back to menu. I'm gonna wait this out. There we go. Let's do the burn. Let's count it out real quick. See what they got for choir. Click on Lost. Hey, that's cool. I like that. Yep, so everything modern music, EDM-ish, trap music, this would definitely get you started. And yeah, it sounds good. I don't have any complaints about it in the sound department. Yeah, I don't have any problems about it in the sound department. I don't know if they do a demo. Like I said, for me, I caught this on sale. Caught this through the ad. I saw the promo, $10, and so I scooped it up. I don't know if it's still $10. Definitely a good plugin worth trying out. It has its potential, especially if you catch it on sale. And if you're doing urban music, this will definitely get you there. I did a 4-bar loop demonstrating that on a very basic level. Yeah, nothing spectacular in terms of my beat making and playing, but you can get the idea. So yeah, man, I would say check it out. Um, there are other plugins that are comparable. This one will definitely lend itself to the urban music. If you're a beginner and you're looking for sounds that'll kind of get you in that direction, I definitely would recommend taking a look at this plugin, trying it out, testing out the demo, seeing if you like it. If you catch it on sale, I definitely would say, get it. It won't hurt. Um, there are other plugins that are comparable to this, like Initial Audio. I think they're on. It's not Lethal. Forgot what it's called, but Initial Audio has a rompler for a similar price point that's comparable to this. Also, anything, you know, sometimes your stock sounds could get it if you are willing to put in the work and color your own sounds. But for a lot of people, that can be hit or miss. This strength of this plugin lies in the fact that, it sounds good for that urban music space. I definitely think it sounds better than Tines and Octave, and it has more potential going for it. The biggest caveat for me is the user wave. if they could really fix that section and make it more intuitive, like to have its own deal, so you can do something like adjust the volume and maybe make adjusting the pitch a little bit easier, I think this will be a great synthesizer. It definitely has potential, and I say check it out. All right, man. Thank you for watching this video. I'm Tim Keys. I'm out.